What are some of the commonly asked questions when you're on these sales calls?
Does getting reviews automatically mean I'm going to get sales?
Everyone who starts selling on TikTok needs this, right?
We have a lot of agencies coming to us, right? Because
all right, so we are here with Sergio. Sergio, you are the VP of sales for Celico, which most Amazon sellers and now TikTok shop sellers are using. I'm Ernesto. I'm VP of sales at Bullseye Sellers. We're a TikTok and Amazon full service agency. We're talking from VP of sales to VP of sales.
of course, yep. Thank you, Ernesto, for having me. I appreciate it. And yeah, I've been here at Celico for about a year now, and we service all major e-commerce platforms in the United States. So that's
awesome.
a quick summary.
So the reason why I wanted to interview you or talk to you is because I want to talk about a very, very important subject, which is reviews, getting reviews. I know, and in this case, we're going to talk about getting reviews on TikTok shop because in order to get conversions, nobody wants to buy a product from a seller or a brand that has 0 reviews, right? Very hard to convert. You used to be able to do this on Amazon back in the days. I used to be selling on Amazon in 2015, and you used to be able to give a product for free in exchange for an honest review. Now, if you do that, they'll shut your account down. Doesn't matter if you're doing $1 million.
No questions asked.
No questions asked. No matter how much you're doing. I've seen accounts doing over $1 million a month get shut down because they're trying to do review manipulation, right?
Exactly.
So I want to talk to you about your survey, one of your surveys, which is getting people sales velocity and reviews on TikTok shop. So why don't you start by just explaining the process, and then I'll ask you questions from there.
Yep. Okay. Awesome. So I'll start on a point that you mentioned, and it is just building the trust at the point of sale, right? So if you're familiar with TikTok shop, they call them product cards. So product card is if you go to the account, you click into the little shop button, and then your products show up on product cards. The point of sale is a lot more trustworthy if it shows, so for example, Nancy from Iowa is going to feel a lot more trustworthy and be a lot more willing to buy the product if she sees 500 units sold with 130 reviews compared to a listing that shows 11 units sold with 1 review, right? One just has a lot more trust and social proof than the other. So with that as the backdrop, the issue that a lot of new sellers run into is the little flywheel that TikTok puts you on as a new shop owner. So you need sales and reviews to make sales, right? But you also need sales and reviews to convince affiliates to work with you. The affiliates are the ones that make the videos and make the content that eventually actually makes your sale, right? So I have 4 points on this flywheel. Where do I start? I can't get affiliates without sales and reviews. I can't make sales without the videos from the affiliates. Like, where do I start? So obviously that's where we come in. Now, in terms of the sales and the reviews, rebates are allowed by TikTok terms of service. There are no issues there. Where it gets a little bit, questionable is on, hey, we're offering sales and reviews. So we like to be extra clear here and say, hey, we are federally compliant with FTC and TikTok shop requirement, or the TikTok shop compliant, because we don't require our reviews. Now, that being said, we are averaging 40 to 60% review rate just because we have built out a community of shoppers who are used to making purchases on schedules and also leaving reviews. And then if it's a positive review, awesome. If it's a negative review, hey, we work with them to make sure that their experience is better the next time. Right?
Okay.
So in terms of that, that's how the nitty gritty of the operations work and how we are compliant in terms of making sure TikTok is happy with us. And to build credibility to that point, we do present monthly on Lark. So Lark is TikTok's Slack or TikTok's Microsoft Office. It's their internal communicating platform for all of the agencies. So we present there. We've launched it. We've talked about this product. They've been very receptive. Their account managers tell other agencies about it. They tell other brands about it. So you just gave me a minute to just ramble on. I'll pause there.
Yeah.
Any questions, anything
great.
you want to follow up on?
Yeah, this gives me more questions. So the first question that I have is, so you have a list of buyers or shoppers that would get a rebate. Is it a full price rebate?
Yeah. So in terms of that, on TikTok itself, yes, it's going to be full price. So whatever you're charging retail is what you're going to have to pay us plus, a service fee,
So
right?
essentially they're getting a free product, right? Getting a free
Exactly.
product. Okay, good. How many people do you have?
Yep. So for a little bit of context there, Celico is about 6 years old at this point. We've built out a shopper network of about 100,000 US based shoppers. On any given campaign, I'll say we have a 33% engagement rate. For easy numbers, we'll call that 30,000 shoppers, right? So we have 30,000 shoppers who are looking at these campaigns. There you go. That's the context.
That's more than enough. No one is ever gonna do, 30,000 samples giveaways. So let's say I'm selling these cups. So I say, okay, I wanna do 100 sales, and then you communicate with these people. Out of the 30,000 people that engage, you'll pick 100, or somehow 100 of them get selected. And then can you say, I want 10 people to buy one product every day for 10 days? Or how do they, or is it just randomly?
Yeah. Great question. So this gets explained a little bit more if you were to book a demo call with Celico, but I'll talk through it quickly in 30 seconds. There's a dashboard. On this dashboard, you fill out a form. There's the general information form, there's the product form, and then there's the campaign execution form, we'll call it. On that campaign execution, or on the product form, you can put the link if you want to put some affiliate videos so that we're buying through your affiliate videos to unlock your invite tiers, right? So $0 in GMV equals 0 invites. 1 cent to $2,000 equals 2,000 invites, with the nuance that those invites can only have up to a maximum of 20,000 followers. If you get $2,000 and 1 cent up to $50,000 in GMV, you now have 7,000 invites, and those invites can have an unlimited number of followers. So that's super important when you're just starting out. You need to understand your tiers. You need to understand that you need to unlock these tiers, and that's where we're a huge help, right? So, all right. So you fill out your product page. Back to talking about how to fill this out. So you fill out your product page, super quick, maybe 30 seconds. Then the final page, as you were mentioning, yes, we schedule these out. One of TikTok's requirements of us, right, is that we cannot have a campaign that is over 400 units and is not shorter than 15 days. In both of those scenarios, you get flagged for algorithm manipulation. We get flagged for algorithm manipulation. Everybody gets in trouble, right? So they gave us guardrails.
Okay.
So 15-day minimum, 400 unit maximum. That is more than enough to get you started. That is more than enough to unlock your tiers. We are providing a service to them by helping them being TikTok. We are providing TikTok with a service of getting momentum for their new brands so that sellers see momentum and don't just drop off after 90 days, as was very prevalent back when they were starting. And we get to offer a service that we execute very well, right?
Okay.
So that it's beneficial for both parties.
Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So if I want to do 100 giveaways, a minimum of 14 days, I would say, let's say 7 a day for 14 days or 8 a day for 14 days, whatever. Okay.
Yep. And
so
there's some customization in there as well.
Right. Okay. And then you don't ask these buyers, so they get a rebate. You don't ask them to leave a review, but you're telling me that 40 to 60% of them actually leave you a review, correct?
Yep. So it's two-pronged, right? So the first prong is you in your seller center. Okay, you can set up the automations to say, hey, upon delivery within 24 hours, I will ask for an in-app review, or I will ask for an email review. That is from you pretending you're the brand, you requesting your buyers to do that. Awesome. Great. On our end, we say, hey, not required, but please, if you feel compelled to, leave a review. And we'll do that every 48 hours from delivery for a week. So we ask them a total of 3 times just to make it concise.
Okay.
And again, optional reviews. So
right.
That's the key operational word in terms of being terms of service compliant with ByteDance.
Okay. Wow. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. It seems like it would be a lot of work on the back end, but you guys do everything, or does the brand need to reach out to anyone or do anything?
The brand essentially just makes sure they have enough stock, right, to do this, and then they create the campaign on our dashboard. Again, super simple, max 5 minutes of just filling out some entry fields, and then we take care of the rest. There's a little daily dashboard so you can track the units sold on a daily basis, the dollars rebated back to shoppers, the length of the campaign. It's very intricate. I don't want to bog down the conversation with all those details, but yes, it's pretty as hands off as it can get.
Okay, awesome. And then if they need help, they can just book a call with you, and you get them through through the
Yep.
process,
Me or
correct?
somebody on the team, 100% willing to hop on a conversation or just answer questions through email.
Okay, great. What are some of the commonly asked questions when you're on these sales calls?
Yes. Does getting reviews automatically mean I'm going to get sales? The answer there is going to be no, right? There's a lot that goes into, launching on TikTok. You have to think about it as a completely new channel, whether you're launching your Shopify D2C or you're launching on Amazon for the first time. It's its whole new animal, has its own intricacies. You need, your affiliates, you need consistent community building on top of those affiliates. You need to, part of the shop execution is going to be fulfillment, customer service, ratings, et cetera, et cetera. TikTok takes 4 or 5 different criteria and creates a shop score. So the third point is going to be keeping a healthy shop score. There's a lot of work that goes into that. So as you very well know on the Bullseye side, being an agency over there, there's a lot that a brand may get overwhelmed with. And that's why agencies exist, right? Agencies exist to help the brand. Hey, pass over all the hard work to us. You just stay in stock. And that's where you start getting into management conversations, obviously not the point of this, but to answer your question, people think it's plug and play. Oh, I'm going to post a couple of videos, I'm going to get some reviews, and it starts selling itself. That is not the case, right? There's a lot more work. So.
Yeah, that being said, if you're sending traffic through either affiliates or paid ads or Meta or whichever way you're promoting,
it snowballs.
You're sending traffic. Yeah, it snowballs, but if you're sending traffic to a product without reviews, it's not gonna do great, right?
So you got to think about it as your sales funnel, right? You're getting all of this traffic down to the landing page, and the landing page is, a Word document, just text. It's terrible, right? It's just not going to convert the sale or the view, excuse me. It's not going to convert the view into a sale. So yes, you need the sales and the reviews so that when, back to my example from Nancy from Iowa shows up, she sees lots of units sold and she sees lots of reviews. She says, oh, other people have also bought this. I now feel comfortable to also buy it.
Right. Okay, good. So I know it's 100% compliant. What are you doing? Are you taking any additional steps to make sure that the account is safe and it doesn't get in trouble for getting reviews?
Yeah, definitely. So in terms of that, you have to remember that there's 2 types of warnings on TikTok. So the first one is a warning and the second one is a violation. The warning is just AI generated. It's the algorithm sees anything funky, anything funny, it's going to flash a warning. And people always freak out like, oh my gosh. I wouldn't worry about it. We have a very close relationship with our account managers. They'll look at the review. Usually if it happens, it's only happened once or twice in 9 months of running this service. They'll say, hey, this is an approved activity. They just get rid of the warning. When violations occur, that's a lot more like, a brand will go to their friends and family and they'll have Aunt Susie buy 10 units, right? That's a violation. That's obviously not allowed. Like that's blatant. So in terms of that, stay away from trying to do it yourself, right? We've built a system. We've gotten essentially vetted by TikTok if the TikTok admins are the ones promoting our service. Obviously, it's a bit more above the table than you trying to hide your activity from them. And additionally, on top of that, I think the last little bit here is that we follow the rules they give us, right? So if they say, hey, no campaigns less than 15 days, we're not going to approve your campaign for less than 15 days. If they say no more than 100 units, so to be open and to be frank, we had to build to 400 units, right? We had to build the trust with TikTok. They started us off at 50, then 100, then 150. You build the relationship with these people. And then that's how you get to the level that we're at, right? 400 units, that's a lot of units. Like, frankly, you probably don't need... 400
units per campaign or per product or in a lifetime or
per campaign.
Per campaign, okay.
Yeah. So it's more than enough. That's the key takeaway I would put here. Yeah.
Okay, great. It seems like a no-brainer. It seems like everyone who starts selling on TikTok needs this, right? The reviews.
Yeah, I mean, to be, again, very transparent, we have a lot of agencies coming to us, right? Because on again, we present on the Lark office hours, which is just essentially the agency group chat, to put in very basic terms. They'll come to us and say, hey, our TikTok representative told us about you guys. Can you help us out? So obviously we can't corner all of the new brands in the United States. That's just silly. So, there's 75, 100 other agencies out there, and they all are running into the same problems. It's very hard to get a new shop off the ground without any momentum. So we're here to terms of service compliantly get you some of that momentum. And then it's up to you and your execution and your internal strategy, et cetera. But we are giving you the tools to get you started.
Right. No, it's an amazing tool. I remember years ago, I used to sell on Amazon, and I helped a few friends selling on Amazon and get started. And I would tell them, listen, you need, 5 to 10 reviews, just so you can show a little bit of good reviews, send it to friends, send it to family members, giving them a free product. And I helped a few of them get reviews. And it's incredible the amount of time and effort that it takes just to give free products. Just to give, we would even give them the money ahead of time, say, buy this product. Yeah, it's like, man, just to do 10 people to buy your product and leave you a review, I would spend hours and hours and hours. So this saves, this saves a lot of time and effort. Anything else that someone that wants to get started on TikTok should know regarding the reviews?
Regarding the reviews themselves, so I think I glossed over it earlier. So we're terms of service compliant with TikTok. I already went through that. Federally, you have to be FTC compliant, and we do. So our reviews will have something along these lines at the bottom of the review. It's going to say something along the lines of, I received this product for free in exchange for my honest review. Now, we have to do that. We can't offer this service without that. That's just Federal Trade Commission loss at this point, right? So there is that little nuance that's in there, but at the end of the day, go to other successful TikTok shops, click into their reviews page, and you're going to see like the first sentence of the review. You'd have to click into it to see, the whole paragraph and then the rest of the other stuff. So they're honest reviews. The people usually love the products. Hey, who doesn't like free stuff? So we've seen a lot of success with it over the past 9 months. Obviously now doing a little bit of a more promotional tour to really get the word out. So thank you, Ernesto, and thank you to Bullseye Sellers for this opportunity. But yeah, any other questions, I'm more than happy to answer, but that's my little spiel. So thank you.
Awesome. How do they find you if they want to meet with you or they have more questions?
Yep. Celico.com. You can Google us or just go straight to Celico.com. You can schedule a call on that website, and it'll probably be me answering that call or having that email conversation with you. But yeah, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for your time, Sergio. Bye-bye.